Sorry for the false start, everyone. I have no idea what just happened. My computer just froze and died. So I restarted it, and we're starting over. The 49ers just won a preseason game. I know you're excited. Let's break it down. But first, there is breaking news from the 49ers post-game press conference. I'm at home. I was there for the practices, but as a true vet, I didn't stay for the preseason game. I came home and watched it from home. I didn't get to participate in the press conference, which was interesting. I would have liked to be there for that. But other people did the dirty work. And here's what happened. Kyle Shanahan won't name his starting quarterback for week 1. When training camp started, he said Jimmy Garoppolo would be the quarterback week 1. Now he doesn't know. And I thought it was really interesting how this played out. Tim Kawakami from The Athletic asked the question first. And he phrased it in a way. Here's how he phrases it. He says, has anything changed since you initially said at the beginning of training camp that Jimmy Garoppolo is your starting quarterback? And he said, no, nothing has changed. And I think it was an interesting way to phrase the question. And I think Tim knew what he was doing. He phrased it in a way that if Kyle Shanahan said, yes, something has changed, it would be an implied shot at Jimmy Garoppolo. And it's been obvious all offseason that he's not going to take that shot. He's not trying to criticize Jimmy Garoppolo publicly like he has in the past. So Tim, who represents The Athletic, who has been clearly 100% all in with Jimmy Garoppolo all offseason, asked this kind of leading question that gets Kyle Shanahan to say something that kind of seems like Jimmy's going to start week 1. But then Matt Mayoko, who's with NBC Sports, who has really been pushing Trey Lance all offseason, follows up and says, does that mean that Jimmy Garoppolo is definitely starting week 1? Does that mean you're naming Jimmy Garoppolo your starting quarterback? Like, let's be clear. And Kyle says, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So the way I read it is the first question was asked in a very specific way that Kyle Shanahan couldn't answer. He's not going to put down Jimmy Garoppolo or say anything that is perceived as a slight to Jimmy. Nothing's changed. Jimmy looks great. Trey's learning. But when pressed, Kyle wouldn't even go back to his line that he had a few weeks ago when he said, yeah, of course, Jimmy's a starter. When pressed, Kyle Shanahan said, I forgot. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like he's waiting for that one good, really good Trey Lance performance before he says it. And one way or another, he's not going to say it until the day before the game, the day of the game. He's going to draw this out. I just think it's clear that the reason he's doing this, I don't think he anticipated doing this. He said that Jimmy Garoppolo, at his best, couldn't get beaten out by a rookie. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo isn't playing his best. We saw that tonight. And I think that Kyle's starting to realize that whether or not he feels Trey Lance is ready, that might be his best quarterback. He's got to figure this out. So, one more week of practices in front of the media, one more preseason game with the Raiders. It's still not over. But it seems like Jimmy Garoppolo is doing nothing to keep his job. He's going out there and playing poorly. And the Niners are just kind of waiting for Trey Lance to make his move, and he hasn't made it yet, although he has showed improvement. So let's talk about each quarterback. I just want to thank all the new members. I want to say that now there's memberships. You can have a membership to this channel, and it's $1 for the base level, where you get all the emojis and the badges, and $2, you get access to the Discord too. I initially set it at $3 and $8, but that seems like too much. So I changed it this afternoon, and you get your money back if you paid $3 or $8. So don't worry about it. From now on, $1, $2. I don't need the money. I mean, I got it. Money ain't a thing for your boy. Living good off just ads. So I just, this will be fun, I thought. So anyway, thank you for all the new members. Let me get some of those questions, and then I will talk about the different quarterbacks. Lance played phenomenal, way better than Jimmy G. All right, well, hold on. I'm going to talk about both. Give us Trey Lance cadence impersonation. I haven't heard it. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Okay, hold on. Boris says should have kept Rosen over Sudfeld. I've been trying to say that. God. All right. Jimmy Garoppolo looks bad. That's what I've been trying to tell you. In training camp, they actually let him play quarterback and throw down the field, and the interceptions just pile up. In the first preseason game, the Niners protected him. They let him throw screens and dinks and dunks no matter what the down and distance was. 3rd and 15, throw to the running back. Just get off the field with 3 completions and no interceptions. And that worked. In this game, they did the same thing. He had a 15-play drive, and it was like, throw over the middle to use check, throw over the middle to the tight end, scramble for 10 yards. That was really nice. But the first time they asked Jimmy Garoppolo to throw the ball more than 8 yards down the field, he throws the ball high that could have got Brandon Ayuk injured. Ayuk goes up for the ball, drops it, tips it to a defender. It's intercepted. Now, should Ayuk have caught the ball? Yeah. Was it a terrible pass? Absolutely. But I don't want to focus on that one pass because it's not about that one pass. The reason that the Niners in this situation, the reason that Jimmy Garoppolo is losing his job is not that one pass. That's just a slight microcosm of the stuff he's been doing, for years. Specifically the last couple of months, this last month in training camp, but he did it last season too. He did it in the playoffs. He's either sailing passes over the middle and getting intercepted or not. He's getting intercepted for like 18 different reasons. Today it wasn't not seeing a guy, it was just missing a throw. Whatever the reason is, if you give this guy 15 throws, chances are one of them will be a pick. That is unacceptable. You know, people talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick. He has 2 sides of him, Fitzmagic and Fitztragic. Well, freaking Jimmy Garoppolo is the same way. Good Jimmy, bad Jimmy. He is in Fitztragic territory now. I mean, his play is tragic. They do everything they can to give him easy stuff. A bunch of short throws, and the interception is still coming, and you know it. And the problem is, on the throws that weren't picked off, tell me if you disagree. Did he not seem extremely skittish? He seems skittish, like he doesn't protect, like he doesn't trust his ability to play football without getting injured. He just doesn't exude any confidence during a real football game. He looks like a backup quarterback. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be super hard on him, but there was no rep. I felt like almost all of his passes gave you a vibe. Even the ones he completed, not particularly accurate, skittish feet, didn't seem like he trusts his protection. I mean, why should he trust his protection? It's not great protection here. But still, I feel like he's made this a quarterback competition. Kyle Shanahan said at the beginning of camp, it's not a quarterback competition. No rookie should be able to beat out Jimmy Garoppolo. This kid also didn't play last year, and he's coming from 1AA. He's not ready. Never led a 2-minute drive in his life. Didn't even have 300 throws in college. Jimmy's like, oh, well, Kyle, you're underestimating just how bad I am. But I do want to say that his poor performance in camp, and that's now carrying over to the preseason, really does validate the 49ers decision to trade up for Trey Lance and to get a new quarterback. Now, time will tell if the Niners pick the right one. I don't know. I'm not saying they didn't, but that's a different issue. It definitely looks like the Niners were right to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo because it looks like he's a time bomb that's going off right now. His career is going up right now in flames. Anytime they let him throw down the field, he's putting his career. He's the arsonist on his career. Not a whole lot to be excited about. You can nitpick Trey Lance's inexperience to death, but then you see this 29-year-old quarterback looking freaked out on the field, throwing picks left and right. That's why Kyle Shanahan won't name a starter. What's the use in naming Jimmy Garoppolo a starter when he could throw 3 picks next week? He only played 1 series today, threw a pick. What if he played 2? Why do you think he didn't play a second series? Because he's playing so well? Or there's no good that can come out of it? Why do you think the second joint practice with the Chargers mysteriously was canceled after Jimmy Garoppolo's interception? And he didn't get a chance to go back out there and throw more. Why? I think it's pretty freaking clear that the Niners are trying not to sabotage Jimmy Garoppolo's value. And what they're seeing is the person that is the biggest threat to Jimmy Garoppolo's trade value by far is Jimmy. They can protect him, do everything right. You know all the things I talk about with Trey Lance, like how they're not really setting Trey Lance up for success? They are 100% setting Jimmy Garoppolo up for success. And he's throwing more interceptions than he ever has. Make that make sense. So Jimmy Garoppolo just handing this job to a 21-year-old rookie who is extremely inexperienced and inconsistent. Problem is, Jimmy Garoppolo is experienced and inconsistent, which is worse. Dude says, how long till Kyle benches trades? Jimmy, is he willing to allow Jimmy to throw a game or two just because he's scared to control the locker room? I don't see how this is going. It seems like they got rid of Rosen. Sudfeld isn't good. They didn't get Trubisky. They didn't get Dalton. I think they need Jimmy as a backup. I don't know. What did Sudfeld do today that made you feel good about him ever playing? Dude says, what parts of our preseason games is most underappreciated? I'm going to get to that. Don't worry. It's still quarterback time, baby. Hold on. So that's how I feel about Jimmy Garoppolo. Trey Lance. Trey Lance is interesting. So Jimmy Garoppolo comes out, looks skittish, throws a pick, ends the drive, high pass over the middle. Trey Lance comes out, looks anxious, throws a high pass over the middle, gets intercepted. I thought that was interesting. And like, of course, the parallelism is not lost on you, but I thought they looked anxious for different reasons. Jimmy looks anxious because he knows he can't protect himself in the field and he knows he's going to throw a pick. He looks anxious because he's not so confident out there. Trey looks anxious maybe because he's lacking confidence, although I don't see that. I think he looks anxious because he hasn't played in a year. It's his first reps in the NFL, and he's trying to impress everyone and trying too hard. That's why he's throwing these short passes way too hard. He doesn't even do that in practice. I mean, he throws hard in practice, but in games, it's like, dude, you didn't need to have the third Red Bull. He seems like he's trying a little too hard. But what was nice about letting him play into the third quarter, letting him go through the halftime, do the halftime adjustments, and just get some playing time, he seemed like he calmed down. And after starting, what did he start? What did he start? He started 1 of 7? No, 1 of 6. No, 1 of 5. He started 1 of 5. That's not good. 1 of 5 with a pick. He finished up 7 of 9 with 2 touchdowns and a 2-minute drill drive, a 45-second drive at the end of the first half where, no play action, no misdirection. It's just drop back, hit throw after throw after throw. And all 5 of his throws from the pocket in that drill were strikes. First one was dropped. Next 4 were caught. That's something he never did in college, 2-minute stuff, because his team was always winning. So good sign. I feel like he's settling in. I feel like it's good that he showed something today, because if he didn't, Niner fans would be freaking out. The Niners would be in a situation where both quarterbacks look bad. Mac Jones and Justin Fields look good. Niners could have had either one of them. They picked this guy. Did they take the wrong one? Is Kyle getting fired? What's the hope for the future? Bleak stuff. Instead, it's like, okay. Trey was just a little overamped. He settled in. He's still only playing from the pocket. They're not calling zone reads. They're not calling play action bootlegs. They're just really limiting him to like 33% of his or 50% of his game. I feel like the way the breakdown is going to work for quarterbacks like him, Justin Fields, Kyler Murray, 50% of your passes are from the pocket. Then 33% of your passes are designed bootlegs. 33. Or at least 25%. And then the remainder is the scrambles, where you either break the line of scrimmage and run or stay back and throw. That's how it's going to break down. And what you're seeing from him right now is 95% pocket passing. Great experience for him. But if he's outplaying Jimmy Garoppolo purely doing purely, my voice cracked, with pocket passing, imagine how much the gap is going to be when he's allowed to do the rest of his game that Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't even have. It's like Jimmy Garoppolo is a golfer with 4 clubs. And the Niners are telling Trey Lance, all right, if you're going to take Jimmy's job, you have to only play with the same 4 clubs in preseason. But when we use you in the regular season, you can use all your clubs. And he's beating them with the same 4 clubs. When he gets to the regular season, he's going to use other clubs that Jimmy doesn't even have, and it's going to make him stand out. But now, limited, still outplaying him. So, of course, I don't think he's won this job yet, though. He hasn't played well enough. As I said earlier, this is a competition because of Jimmy. Trey is intriguing, improving, not good enough yet, or hasn't shown it, hasn't been able to show it. If he comes out against the Raiders next week and goes 10 for 14 with 10 for 14 with a touchdown and no interceptions, it's over because Jimmy ain't doing that. I could be wrong, but Jimmy ain't doing that. I think Trey is one efficient performance away from the Raiders from making this official. That's where I think he stands. If he goes out and blows it against the Raiders, what do the Niners do? It's not like Jimmy's a good option. That is the Niners' problem. They're really at the mercy of Trey. They need him to be good because Jimmy isn't good. You know that. Jimmy's not improving. Trey is. But how much can he improve in the next 3 weeks? I think he can. I think this is good experience for him. This could be some of the most difficult times of the year for him, considering he's not being allowed to run the zone read. He's not being allowed to be a runner. I think this is one good performance against the Raiders. He's a starter. That's what I think. Gizmo says if Lance starts and fails and you have to go to Jimmy, it's a catastrophe. If Jimmy fails, you go to Lance, it's fine. Jimmy's failing. Jimmy is in the process of failing. They're doing everything they can to make him look good, and he's still failing. That is the monkey wrench here. It is the turd in the punch bowl. You can see that Lance isn't quite ready yet, and yet Jimmy's just going down in flames. So what do? Do you start Jimmy? What does that do? He could get benched by the second quarter. He could throw a pick on his first drive. He did that today. I just feel like Jimmy is making this almost not even a discussion. What is he going to – he looks freaked out. Yo, thank you for the membership. Jade, thank you. Appreciate you guys. Chad says, you think Trey is still being told not to run or trying to prove he can be a pocket passer? There were snaps he should have scrambled but didn't. I have no idea. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe it's understood that he is only going to impress them executing the plays. Or maybe he just feels like that's the best way to impress him. The best way is to just go out there and be good, dude. Be yourself. Be good. Get out of the pocket, man. And I think he did a better job of that in the second half. He ran for a first down. When do you think Kyle will sit down and have a talk and tell Jimmy that this isn't working, and what do you think Jimmy's reaction will be? He shouldn't be surprised. I mean, he sees these interceptions he's throwing. He knows he's throwing picks every day. He knows why they traded up for this guy. Why would Jimmy be surprised? How can Jimmy be mad? The Niners gave him almost all the first-team reps in training camp. He blew it. They said it's not a quarterback competition. Jimmy's our starter. He gets to play with the starters all at camp. What did Jimmy do? Blow it. Throw 10 picks. Make Trey Lance. He brought Trey Lance in the conversation. No one else did that. Jimmy did. It seems like after the second or third sack, Trey was given the keys to actually use his legs. Yeah, what a freaking concept. Good call by Kyle letting him use his talents, finally. Yeah, man. Get a guy hurt in the pocket. Everyone says you can't let him run because he can get hurt. Yeah, you get hurt in the pocket. The pocket is the most dangerous place for a quarterback. Where did Justin Fields get lit up? In the pocket. Get outside the pocket. All of a sudden, it's a space game. And Trey Lance is one of the most dynamic athletes in space in the NFL. In a phone booth, it's not about athleticism. It's about rapid-fire decision-making and experience. That's not his game. So, yeah, get him in space. Grant, I know you turned on that was funny, man. You slipped that one in there. Jacob says, in practice, is Trey as fast as shifty as Lamar? I can't wait to see him run. No, not as shifty as Lamar. Probably not even as shifty as Justin Fields, who's really making a lot of guys miss behind the line of scrimmage, but he is hella fast. And he's hella big. I think his running style is going to be more like Josh Allen, where he runs people over, legitimately. He's going to get a lot of momentum when he runs. Millennium, thank you for subscribing. Sergio says it's a win-win for the Niners. It's a win for the Niners now that Jimmy's losing his starting job. His best option would be to take a pay cut. Yeah, I think so too. Be a backup, man. Get paid $10 million. Ricky, thank you. Appreciate you. Thomas says, what's the team's vibe about Jimmy? Locker room's always been like Jimmy's our guy regardless. Are the players seeing that Jimmy is trash? I don't know. It's a great question because after the game, KPIX interviewed freaking Kyle Juszczyk, and he was like, yeah, Jimmy played really well. Jimmy was good. You know, that interception was like a really bad drop, or I don't know if he said that really bad drop. It was on Brandon Ayuk as a drop. Got to catch that. Thought Jimmy played really well, and then Trey, I thought he really improved out there. It's like, dude, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? I mean, I understand trying to be nice about Jimmy Garoppolo because he's your bud and you know, whatever. But how could you really go on television and act like Jimmy Garoppolo outplayed Trey Lance in this game? I'm not saying Trey was great, but Jittery Jimmy? Nah, I don't see it the same way. But yeah, I do think a lot of these guys on the offense in particular may have a tough time with this transition. And maybe that's what Kyle's dealing with right now. I don't know. But I think Jimmy's going to make this real easy on everyone if he just keeps doing what he does. Sorry, Jimmy. Robert says, Trey looked better as the game went on. Kidneys reps. Only way he's going to get that is through game experience. Yeah, I thought he should have played the whole the whole second half. Like, forget Nate Sudfeld. Why is he playing? You're giving him $250,000. He should be grateful. He doesn't need playing time too. He doesn't see himself as a future starting quarterback the way Josh Rosen does. Don't play him. Play Trey Lance. That's all I was saying. I think that was a waste of time right there. The Sudfeld experience, so he could go in the game and fumble the snap. That was great. They had to delay a game too. That was nice. Okay, so let's talk about the way Kyle Shanahan is handling this quarterback competition. In my opinion, the Niners are in a tough spot right now because of him. Again, it comes down to his decision-making. He decided we're not going to have a quarterback competition. I don't even need to see it. A rookie isn't going to beat out Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't even like Jimmy. That's why I traded up to number 3. I didn't even know who I wanted. I traded up to get a new quarterback. I can't stand Jimmy for a lot of reasons. But I don't want a quarterback competition. I want this kid to learn on the bench. I want to develop him the right way. Slow play it, not rush it. Okay, well, that sounds great in theory, but you need Jimmy Garoppolo to be decent for that to work out. And you know he's not, Kyle. That's why you traded for Trey Lance. But then you kind of balked at the last minute and you were like, I don't know if Trey Lance is better than him. Maybe he'll be better than him next year. Jimmy's our starter. And you give Jimmy all the reps with the starters in camp. And what does he give you? A bunch of picks. And now you're second guessing yourself. Like, damn. If Jimmy starts this season, we're not having a winning record. We're going down. We're having another losing season. He's worse than he was last year. He somehow is worse. And so now you're in a position where on August 22nd, you're getting Trey Lance his first meaningful reps with the starters in a preseason game. You waited until the second, like this Friday, to get him in, throws with the starters in a practice. And then he comes out now, and I feel like what we're seeing with Lance is a guy who hasn't played with the starters. He looks a little out of sync with the rest of the offense because he's been playing with the poo-poo platter of backup and second stringers all offseason. And now you're like, damn, Jimmy's really blowing it. Let's see what Trey Lance has late in the process. When really, instead of just assuming that Jimmy would be better because he's older, make it a competition. You could have known this weeks ago. You could have seen the difference weeks ago. And you could have given Trey Lance a real opportunity to be ready to start week 1, whatever ready is. As ready as he could possibly be. Instead, you're in a situation now where you're like, well, we can't play Jimmy, but is Trey ready? I don't know. He's 13 of 28 right now with a bunch of drops, but it's debatable whether Trey Lance is ready. He hasn't had that lights out performance that you'd like. He could happen next week, but Jimmy's crumbling and Trey is playing catch up because Kyle didn't see this coming. Raise your hand if you saw this coming. Raise your hand. I saw it coming. Kyle, this is why you traded for Trey Lance. I have to think if the Niners drafted Mac Jones, Jones would have been getting a lot of reps with the starters in camp. Same with Justin Fields. Why did you wait this long? Maybe it won't be a big deal. Maybe 3 weeks is enough to get Trey Lance ready to start week 1. But if he's not ready, and you see that next week against the Raiders, and you start Jimmy Garoppolo, and he flops and you lose week 1, you lost that game, Kyle, because you didn't get Trey Lance ready to start. You were focused on Jimmy and then realized you had an epiphany on like August 20th. Oh, Trey Lance is my best quarterback. Damn. I should have figured that out 3 weeks ago. I feel like Kyle's been a little reactive here and didn't really make the best call with how he divvied up quarterback reps in preseason. Now, to be fair, he's pivoting hard at this point. So let's see if it's not too late. I'll take some more questions. Serena, thank you. Ozbauki, thank you. You new members. Jay and Zay says, didn't see Debo mad in the sidelines. Who he mad at? I don't know. I didn't see that. I will get back to you. I'll ask him. Hey, Debo, who you mad at? Why are you mad? With a name like Debo, though, I mean, what more would you what would you expect? Timothy says, we need to talk about Trey's 2-point conversion. I was there. Even Chargers fans were hyped. Disregard the flag. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that they're going to let him do all the time, the actual running element. He's going to be one of the better running quarterbacks in the league. Like, Kyler Murray is really good. Trey's way bigger than him. You can run him with less of a conscience. He's built to run. He's built to take a beating. He's like a bigger Steve Young. Vikrant, I'm not saying as a runner. I'm not saying as a passer. Vikrant S says, where do you place the Niners in the NFC West and NFC overall after seeing 2 preseason games? I felt like the Niners could win 13 games with Trey Lance this year. I'm a little concerned that he hasn't really been prepped this offseason to do that. And no matter who the Niners quarterback is, this team could struggle in September. So I'm still sticking with 11 wins. I think they can get to 11. It's a really good team, really good defense. They just got to figure out who their quarterback is and get the dude like ready. Why aren't they ready? Because they can't decide. They can't commit to one person. To here, thank you. LeBron Gems says, should the Niners bring in Steve Young to teach Trey Lance how to be a mobile quarterback? I don't think Steve Young wants to work like that. But yeah, they should bring. Hey, how about Jeff Garcia, man? Jeff Garcia has been dying to be a quarterback coach forever. He has the skill set that could definitely benefit Trey Lance. I mean, all the scrambling that Jeff Garcia did. He wants to be a coach. Steve Young gets paid a bunch of money just to talk. And I'm just telling you, as someone who gets paid a bunch of money to talk, it's preferable to working really hard and being a coach or a player. So I don't know about Steve if he wants to do that life, but Jeff, I would think so. Jeff, someone call him up. I mean, really, what the hell does Rich Scangarello know about playing quarterback? Did he ever play that position? Honestly. Thank you, Barry and Baller. That's why you're the baller. Kev says, Grant, is Jimmy definitely the quarterback Brady was referring to? I don't know. I don't know. Could have been Trubisky. Worried about Lance's bullet balls. He's talented, but how many drops, tips, etc. are we going to see? Fair amount. But I think you're still going to see fewer picks from him than Garoppolo, which is the most important thing. Ain't nobody going to do well behind our trash O-line. Yeah, that's a problem. If Jalen Moore is starting week 1, Niners going to lose that game. But I don't think he will. But if he does, they're going to lose. JB Big Bag Bullies says Kyle needs to be looked at. Some of his calls is out of control. How does your future quarterback doesn't have chemistry with the ones with Jimmy injury history? Yeah, they should have been giving Trey Lance reps with the starters way sooner. I don't know why it needed to come to this. You traded up to number 3 for this guy. You should have acted like you liked him. All of a sudden, you're like, I don't know. Unacceptable considering how well Mac Jones and Justin Fields are playing. Get Trey Lance in the freaking game because Jimmy Garoppolo ain't it. Swan song. Thank you. All right, last one. The defense. I thought the defense was really good in this game and really promising. Like, yeah, they shut down the Chargers backups and they were going against Easton Stick, who looked pretty good. But 2.6 yards per play, 2 for 11 on third down, good defensive performance. Let's single out some people. First of all, Diamador Lenore is better than Ambry Thomas right now. Those are the 2 rookie corners. Diamador has had a pass breakup Ambry got burned deep and had a pass interference penalty. They can't play Ambry anytime soon. I don't know if he's a bust or he's rusty because he didn't play last year because of the pandemic, because he opted out, or he's, I don't know, a project. One of the three. But he can't play right now. Diamador Lenore seems like he could play if Emmanuel Mosley, or Jason Brett get injured. So that's good news. They have a backup corner on the team who's decent. That's good. I thought Hufanga looked good. Clinton Dix looked good. Their D-line looked terrific. Kentavious Street, as advertised. Kevin Givens, really good backup. Jordan Willis, good player. He's suspended for the first 6 games because PEDs or whatever, but he's coming back. Good player. Samson Ebukam, he did the thing where a quarterback tried to scramble out up the middle, ran him down. That's what he's going to be good at. Now, I really feel like defense is less about pressuring the quarterback and more about containing him. A lot of these quarterbacks are 23-year-old athletes who really just want to get outside the pocket and be athletes. Make them stay in the pocket and be stationary pocket passers and make them execute. Ebukam does that. You know who doesn't do that? Eric Armstead. Every time they did a play-action bootleg to the right, which is where most bootlegs go because the quarterback's right-handed, he'd be like, oh, my freaking God, I'm so surprised. That's a problem. I don't like playing Eric Armstead at defensive end on any down in any situation because you're just inviting the quarterback to get out of the pocket, whether it's on a design bootleg or just because he likes to, because he wants to. It's wide open. He just leaves the door open. That's Eric Armstead. But I came here to say how good the defense is. I mean, who else? Arden Key looked good. Ebukam. Jared Maiden, second-year undrafted free agent, intercepted. What's his face? Returned it for a touchdown, didn't count. I like Maiden. I think he should make the team. I'd like to see him with the starters. I would like to see him play alongside Jimmy Ward. How about that? Really excited about him. I think he's a good player. I liked him last year. The Niners have a history of undrafted free agents making a big push year 2. He's the one. Like him a lot. So, really promising defense. I mean, they didn't play Bosa, Greenlaw, Javon Kinlaw, Ford, Warner, Verrett, Mosley, Ward, any of those guys, and the defense was fantastic. They do have injury issues on defense, but they're deeper than we give them credit for. The D-line is maybe the deepest D-line in the league. Their third stringers at D tackle and D end are really good. The linebackers are good. Their backups, Demetrius Flanagan-Foles, Jonas Griffith, both guys played really well tonight. And then in the secondary, it seems like Lenore is a good backup corner, and Clinton Dix, Talanoa Hufanga, and Jared Maiden are all good backup safeties. It's a good defense. What's his face? Tamiko Ryans got a lot to work with. So that's good news. The Niners have to figure out this quarterback situation. And I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is making it as simple as possible. Trey Lance is just a little behind the curve, and maybe it's Kyle's fault. Maybe it's his fault. It's who they picked. Time to embrace it. Let the guy freaking start. I don't know. I mean, Skip Bayless said it. I understand that you'll see snaps from Lance, and you'll be like, if he sat for a year, he'd be better next year. Yeah. But then Jimmy goes out and just throws picks after. It's like, I don't know. I don't think the Niners have that luxury to slow play it with Lance and let Jimmy Garoppolo go out there and hold down the fort. He ain't holding down nothing. It's floating away. The fort is gone. Where'd the fort go? I don't know. It's gone. Who is supposed to be holding it? Jimmy. What'd he do? He let go. He let go of the whole fort. Yeah, it's gone. It just floated away. He had one job. Hold the fort. He didn't do it. That's on Jimmy. People make excuses for Jimmy. They gave him all the first team reps. They let him go against a defense that was sitting Bosa, Kinlaw, Ford, Tart, freaking Mosley most of the offseason. What did he do? Do a bunch of picks. Look in the mirror, Jimmy. At what point are you going to take control of your career? Because I feel like a lot has been given to that guy. He was just some dude at Eastern Illinois. You know, some guy playing football at a small school in a frat, having a decent, cool life, big man on small campus. Then the Patriots take him in the end of the second round. You're like, you're the next Tom Brady. I am? Oh, good to know. And he has to do nothing to prove it. He just sits on the bench for 3.5 years. They trade him the Niners. He plays well for a month. He gets $130 million. And now the first time in his life when he had to actually compete for a freaking job, goes down in flames. Plays the worst football of his life. What does that say about him? It's also the guy the Niners couldn't trust in the playoffs. What does that say about him? Maybe he's not the kind of guy who rises up when a lot's on the line. Maybe he doesn't deal well with pressure. I don't know. We're supposed to be talking about the defense. I'm sorry. I need to stop talking about these quarterbacks, man. Or do I? Hold on. This is a telltale sign for the season to come. What is? Having two quarterbacks? Thomas says, I feel like Lynch will be the fall man if we have a subpar season. I hate how nobody holds Kyle accountable. Thank you. How can you keep taking, like, you can't pin this on Kyle underlings when he makes all the decisions. And yes, I think of Lynch as an underling of Kyle. Sorry, John. I just do. Talk about D-lines, the cowboy boots. What? I didn't see the cowboy boots, but I like the D-line. I didn't see that. I'm sorry. Good D-line. Thank you for being a member. Tony, thank you. I will do my best. All right, guys. That's the end of the show for tonight. I got 2,200 people watching. That's got to be a record, man. This is a fun night. For the people who wanted me to say nicer things about Jimmy Garoppolo, I apologize. For the people who wanted me to say nicer things about Trey Lance, I did my best. If you wanted me to say meaner things about Trey Lance, I don't really get where you're coming from. But I'm sorry. I can't please everyone, and I don't try to. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a Monday, and you know what that means? Vish time. Doing a lot of streaming tomorrow. And the Niners going to be back at practice. I don't know when. Probably Wednesday. Looking forward to that. I think I just got one more. Trade Jittery Glassbones for Stick. Or Trubisky. Does Michael Kendricks make the team? Maybe not. They got younger guys. I don't know. Not sure. Good question. I don't think they need them. Go with the young guys. They're cheaper. I was not at SoFi. I flew home yesterday. I thought that was a veteran move. I could be at SoFi right now. Take a 6 a.m. flight in the morning? Nah. Not for a preseason game. But I made an executive decision. I'm going week 1 to Detroit. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Of course I'm going week 1 to Detroit. Way too important. Definitely going. Hey, hold on. Before I go. Join button next to subscribe button to become a member. You have to be on a computer. It's 99 cents and $1.99 if you like Discord access. I'm just saying, I hate charging people. Remember, I don't like a paywall, but it's not a paywall. All my content is free. If you want to be a VIP status, you know what I'm saying? There's a way to do it. So 99 cents for some badges, $1.99 to get into the VIP Discord as well. That's a lot of fun. So I will be back tomorrow with Vish and various other hosts. Thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. This was a fun post-game show. First one was a definite false start, but I just had to restart my computer. So I will be back tomorrow. See you guys. Take care.